My name is Austin Lucena, and this is a screencast review of the tutorial How to Make Colors Pop with Photoshop by Kelvin Designs. I decided to do a Photoshop color correction video tutorial because I actually take portraits, senior portraits of friends and friends of friends on campus for graduation. So I do all my editing myself, so I decided why not learn a new skill, and so I decided to put these to the test. And it turns out that I have a lot to learn about Photoshop. So I decided to use the criteria: is it easy to use, easy to understand, and is it easy to follow, to determine how well this tutorial actually taught me how to color correct in Photoshop. Being that it's a video, and specifically a screencast of somebody performing the Photoshop, it was actually extremely easy to use. Because it's that first-person style, I could see exactly where the person's cursor was going along these buttons, and he didn't actually need to verbally or textually say what to do. Most of the time, it would just be like, over here, I click this button, and I would follow. Now, the problem with this is that because it's a screencast video, it's a picture of his screen. So everything's already pretty small, as you can see here. But when I'm trying to follow along with my own Photoshop, I had to split the screen like I am doing right now. Now, this made things way smaller, and it was nearly impossible to see where his cursor was going and what he was clicking on. And at the same time, to have a sufficient amount of room over here to perform the action as well. Now, if I were to perform this tutorial again, I probably would elect to put this video on another monitor or another device so that I can watch it separately and have the entire room dedicated to the actual Photoshop application itself. As for understanding, it was incredibly clear. His cadence of voice was very professional, very clear to understand what he was trying to say. Also, the organization was fantastic. He actually added in, I'll show you here, some key pieces of information on how to organize all your different layers all at once. So even if I was performing a complex task, such as overlaying over the entire face with a dominant skin tone, like I'm showing you here, I know that this goes in the skin folder, and then if anything happens while I'm adjusting any other things of the photo, I can always go back to the skin folder and readjust if I have to. Now, because there were a few complicated steps, such as the one I'm showing you here with the overlay of the skin tones, it was very important that I could follow word for word, basically, step for step, for what he was doing. But that was a little difficult because his video was actually very, very fast. Much too fast for a beginner Photoshop user like myself. Even though it says 23 minutes here, don't let that fool you. He put a ton of information in that 23 minutes, and he was flying through it from the very beginning. And I had to press play and pause multiple times, going backwards to try and re-listen to one of the steps so that I could go on to another step. It took me probably about 45 minutes to get through those 23 minutes alone. As for the overall quality of the tutorial, I would give it very high marks in easy to use and easy to understand, about average on easy to follow because of the pacing, but the end results were fantastic. As you can see here, the one on the left is the original, and the one on the right is my color corrected version. Now you can see the highlights in the forehead and the hair, a little bit in the tie. They're very, very bright. It shouldn't be like that, mostly because of my terrible photo taking skills at this point. But on the color corrected one, You can see the skin tone is nice and blended, the hair is very contrasting to the background, and it all just pops much better. I'm very pleased with the overall quality of the tutorial. So, if you're looking to color correct one photo, or if you're looking to expand your skills in Photoshop, go ahead and click on Kelvin Designs and go check out his page. I'm sure he's got plenty of different tutorials there for you.